So I'm Paul Divitorrio. I am a senior director for Boston Consulting Group, responsible for what we call secure infrastructure platforms. And that's really all of the infrastructure, networking, and security controls that we run throughout our IT organization. Day-to-day functionality is really around the operational aspects of securing our infrastructure, but it's also the engineering of our next generation solutions. We spend a lot of time, maybe 40-50% of our time looking towards the future. Like what are the threats going to be next year? What should our infrastructure security be looking like next year, so that we're positioning ourselves not only for today, but for tomorrow. When I first started, a lot of the operations work that we do today was outsourced, and it was outsourced to these very niche providers. Right? We had one provider that did our hosting environment, a separate one to do networking, databases, security, etc. Just a lot of, at least a half a dozen different little small niche providers. I wanted to change that. And one of the areas that I wanted to really focusing on was our monitoring space. And all of these providers had their own tools. They had all the data, they maintained all the data. So we really didn't even have a history of how our systems performed over time. So we started looking at Datadog as a monitoring solution that we could bring in-house, that we could own, and we could control the data. And now today, all of those niche providers are gone. We've actually consolidated to a single managed service provider for all of our tier 1 and tier 2 infrastructure support. And we've standardized on Datadog as our official single monitoring platform across all infrastructure, across the globe. So we've been working with the RapDev team for a few years now, and the teams really, really gel. Right? I do have a full tools team set up, and they do a lot of the day-to-day activities in maintaining, a lot of our tool suite, including Datadog, ServiceNow, and other tools. The RapDev team has come in to help augment and help us with some, unique use cases, some implementation of tools that we don't maybe have experience in. So it's really been a great relationship where they're coming in and augmenting my team for skill sets that we don't have. And sometimes it's really not worth me investing in hiring those resources permanently when I can borrow them from RapDev when I need them. So right now we are doing primarily monitoring of everything. All of the compute and network and storage infrastructure. We have a single pane of glass approach that we've taken with Datadog, but 4 years ago, we had 3 data centers globally, approximately 5,000 to 6,000 virtual machines across those data centers, supporting a bunch of, homegrown applications and off-the-shelf applications, probably in the neighborhood of 500 to 600 applications. As we're doing that migration to the cloud, and we're about a month away from completing that migration to the point where we will have no data centers, all of our applications will be hosted in the cloud or on SaaS platforms. As part of our migration, we were trying to also move away from a pure just virtual machine world to get to more a cloud native world, right? So that included shifting a lot from, VMs to containers. So that is shifting our monitoring strategy a bit too. So as we're doing migrations, we're not only migrating applications and changing the profile of those applications, but we're changing how we monitor those applications and secure those applications. Our objective with monitoring and with our network operations center, we want to see things when they break so that we can react faster and minimize recovery time. So we are measuring ourselves, and we have seen a dramatic decrease in recovery time since we started measuring it. So only a couple of years ago, but we have seen a dramatic decrease in recovery time. The other thing that we've seen a dramatic decrease in is the number of alerts that become incidents. So we're doing a lot better job today at consolidating alerts or aggregating alerts so that only one incident is generated. Historically, if you've got different monitors and different perspectives, being looked at, you could be looking at infrastructure, networking, and application. Historically, one thing breaking could generate 3 to 5 alerts, which could generate then 3 to 5 incidents. Today, we have aggregation in place so that those 3 to 5 alerts generate one incident. So much more efficient at identifying the problem and moving toward root cause and ultimate recovery.